Weather 2020 meteorologist Gary Lezak. This is an LRC Ag special report. All right, we're going to go over some valuable information for you in the next 10 minutes. I'll try to explain everything as best I can. If you have any questions, please let me know afterwards in the next few days. All right, let's go and get started here and take a look at our PowerPoint, and the LRC Ag special report will do a deeper dive into this weather pattern as summer begins. Summer begins Wednesday, by the way, and it will end on September the 23rd, and that's when the new LRC will begin evolving, right about then. All right, so first of all, in the last 48 hours, parts of Iowa got to benefit from some pretty good rainfall over some of the cornfields out here, you can see, and parts of western Minnesota as well, maybe southern Minnesota, and in Nebraska, and then western Kansas that doesn't need it as much. They had widespread rain, 3 to 6 inches of rain, and it's mainly a result of this blocking. It was more spotty over southern Iowa and eastern Kansas, western Missouri, but at least a few spots did get a good drink of water. In the next 10 days, this drier trend just continues centered around eastern Kansas and western Missouri. More on that in a few minutes. Notice how it fills in a little bit in that 10 to 15 day range, half-inch to 2-inch amounts. More on that coming up. We just had a bad tornado just a few days ago in Perryton, Kansas. Perryton is in the northern Texas Panhandle, and this EF3, EF4 tornado devastated that community, and 3 people were killed. It's all part of the cycling weather pattern. The LRC is right on schedule, and we are in the 6th cycle of the pattern. It just began in the last couple of days. We are in the 6th cycle of the pattern, and will continue to September when the new LRC does set up. All right, severe weather is right on cycle. Take a look at this. These are all of the severe weather reports from October 5th to yesterday, actually. And I color code them because there are 6 parts of the pattern that have produced severe weather. So again, here are all of the reports, and here they are color coded. And the pattern is cycling at close to about 50 days. What just happened in Perryton, Kansas is this yellow area. The part of the pattern that cycled through as we expected. We thought it would be much further north, more than that in a second. But look, every 50 days we have had this part of the pattern produce. Now let's go to the tornadoes. Look at this. Here are all the tornadoes on cycle. The biggest tornado outbreak of the season happened on March 31st, and it's directly related to the second biggest tornado outbreak of the season in the beginning of November. These two are related. What just happened in Perryton, Kansas is related, and there are 6 parts of the pattern that's like, we could look at this for days, okay, and spend a lot of time on it, and I will sometime. Let me know if you have any questions about this, but this just shows you the pattern is right on cycle. Not only that, someone tweeted out yesterday, a tornado near Fort Myers, Florida, just happened on June 18th, yesterday, all right? 49 days ago, they posted, hey, the last tornado was on April 30th. Right on schedule. People talk about the LRC and they don't even know it. So this is the forecast we made, one of our 11 forecasts, 150 days ago. We made these forecasts January 16th. We ended up 81% accurate. You can argue it even better than that, but 9 out of 11. The block affected a couple of them. But this one, even though we continued to have blocking, the jet stream got strong underneath it, and we had severe weather on June 11th and severe weather on June 14th. The reason it was farther south is because of the block. Normally, this would have been in Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana, and it would have been quite stormy up there, but because of the block, the deep south got it. Here is the block. The block, what the LRC is a river veer above us cycling regularly. All right? And sometimes these blocks form. They're like big boulders in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and the flow goes around them. Sometimes it'll go over the top of them, and sometimes it'll go underneath them. In April, this is April 22nd, the flow went underneath it. But look at this. When we went to early May, the block was real strong. This is extremely unusual. It's not unusual to have a block, but for it to last 60 days is extremely rare, if never has it happened before. Look what happened by May the 24th. The block was in southwest Canada, causing drought conditions developing and increasing over the Pacific Northwest, and the flow went over the block, not under the block. The flow underneath the block was weak, so there wasn't much severe weather in May compared to what had been happening. And then we had an Omega block, and the blocking has continued until this week. We think the block will be fading away. As you can see, I don't see any more big upper highs. The only upper high I see is this thing over Texas and the Southwest, that summer anticyclone, or up the little high height area, the heat wave creating machine is developing. So we'll be monitoring this, as we do expect an impacting heat wave sometime this summer over the Corn Belt even. Developing strong tropical system is also forming right now as well. So again, there was the block in April and May, and now it seems to have faded away in the next few days. Will this impact the Corn Belt? Look at what's happened since October 5th when the pattern began all the way to just this past week. Notice how in these orange colors, yellow to orange, we have 50 to under 100% of average rainfall. So it has been a struggle for the entire season. Cycle 1, when the pattern began, you're looking right now at cycle 1. And you can see how dry it was over Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota. This was the first sign that it could be a problem as we go into the growing season in October, November. However, cycle 2 got wet from California, as predicted by our model, up into Minnesota. Cycle 3, most of the Corn Belt had above average rainfall between January 15th and March 7th. So here we are, at least the soil moisture, ground soil moisture content was good going into the season, but then it dried out. The block would not go away at the end of April, and look at the latest cycle, how dry it has been over Minnesota, Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri, eastern Kansas, eastern Nebraska. The rain pattern shifted west. We thought it might, and it did. I just didn't anticipate it would completely drying out through the Great Lakes. Now the LRC model, this is the forecast for the next 40 days. Here is the forecast for the next 40 days. You can see here, it shows above average rainfall over parts of Minnesota. This is the eastern Corn Belt. From Minnesota, Wisconsin is above average, and Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana near to below average, but not severe. We're expecting just below average rainfall. In the western Corn Belt, North Dakota and South Dakota are going to be fine. Near 100% of average rainfall, maybe a couple struggle areas. Above average over western Nebraska continuing, and then the driest weather just continues from southern Nebraska, western Iowa, most of Kansas, into parts of Missouri. So there is a forecast for the next 40 days. The models have come out, this is as of this morning. The American model, the GFS, shows the next 10 days to continue to struggle to have any widespread rain at all, so maybe none in spots in the next 10 days, from Arkansas, Oklahoma, across eastern Kansas, western Missouri, center near the Kansas-Missouri border, up into parts of Iowa and Nebraska. But then it is wetter for southern Minnesota, down across Indiana and Illinois. Over the next 15 days, add 5 more days to this, the dry area starts to fill in a little bit, but as many of you have known, this has been happening a lot. But a ½ to 2 inch rain amounts before July 4th could be impacting. So we'll be monitoring for that with the widespread heavier rain across the Dakotas to Indiana and Illinois. So in conclusion, summer officially begins this week, and we will be monitoring close to where the heat wave creating machines will be developing. Some rain is likely in the eastern half of the Corn Belt in the next 15 days. The block has not broken down, but we expect it to in the next few days, and we're still predicting that impacting heat wave coming up at the end of the summer, in the middle of the summer actually. Could be quite significant, so as soon as I see evidence of that, we'll be talking about that. I'm Meteorologist Rogers, Gary Lezak. This is your LRC Ag Special Report. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will have another update next week. Have a good day. Have a good week, everybody.